Hi there, Dr. Sheep here. Welcome back to our Farming Sim Let's Play, episode 6. Let me know if you guys are actually enjoying this series. I think it's interesting seeing if you can do cotton viable as a viable option. So, as you can notice, it is 4 a.m. up in the corner in this world anyways. Um, and that's actually kind of throwing off what we were doing earlier because I been thinking about, the next step I thought, oh, let's pay off the loan, But I think I want to speed up production more. And obviously that's like, oh, buy a bigger tractor. Well, I could just buy more implements. So I did go and buy a second weeder, and I might go buy a second disc harrow, and maybe a second planter. Um, Actually, yeah, I'll definitely probably buy a second planter because we'll be able to disc harrow really fast, but we won't be able to get the seed in the ground fast then. As for right now, I can have seed going while I'm cultivating. So that's definitely something I should look into. So that would be like the next two implements. So maybe another planter, because I could have the second planter going while the disc harrow, well, after the disc harrow finishes, and while the other guy continues to keep going. And this stupid sign, I caught it with my my fertilizer applicator because I was spreading. Was it lime? No, it was when I was spreading normal fertilizer, but I was spreading lime. And actually, that's one of those things we haven't seen, you guys haven't seen yet. And I've spread lime twice now off camera, and I thought about, that's one of the only production parts you haven't seen. And so for this episode, you're basically just going to be watching me harvest, and then once it hits about 40 minutes, I'm going to call it. I know it's boring, I know, but I don't know how to really spice it up. Well, obviously I could hire a helper. Would you guys rather have me hire a helper? I go do like another mission and like do that mission while the helper's doing this, or what? What would you want me to do? Anyways, so in the last episode, I said that I was gonna tell more stories, and I got this. I'm in a story kick from I not I'm Alex, but Alex Clark, the animator. His babysitter series, the 1 hour version, where he combines all of them but one episode, uh, got recommended to me, and I was like, oh, I remember that. So I watched it, and I was like, oh, okay, pretty cool. And so it got me thinking, like, well, I've never had a girlfriend, and the rate I'm going, I may never have one. My life is sad. Please help. Anyways, and I was thinking, I was like, well, I don't have any stories to tell like that, but I have good times to tell. And so I was thinking about what were some of the best and worst times of my high school career. Now, there were two instances, well, not my high school career, but my entire life. There are three instances that I can immediately think of that are the worst times of my life, period. Two of those I'm not going to share, but the one was actually fairly recently when my father got in this car accident. That day was not. It was not a fun day. It was not a fun weekend. But he's doing much better now. He is zipping around on crutches. Actually, he's not even. He's barely even on crutches. He's just zipping around, gimping around, I should say. I guess you can only gimp. You can only limp so much. I say gimp, limp. It's not a joke on people that have a disability. Obviously, it's a joke on him. So I guess it is something else. To be fair, Rooster in my phone on Snapchat is still Crip because he sprained his ankle or something back in high school during football, and this was during we were in physics together at the time, and so I was like, oh, well, we're learning all about, these measurements and stuff. What if we come up with our own measurement system? He's like, oh, like, what about crip roosters per second? Obviously, it wasn't roosters, it was crip, his name, per second. And it was funny because I could walk faster than him. I could, like, slowly walk faster than he could uh, walk at a full speed because of his limb. That's not funny, but I mean, it that was a high schooler, right? It was funny at the time, right? Your friends are crippled, whatever. Anyways, I guess at the time, I guess it's something I alluded to in the previous episode, but the guy I knew in high school that I was friends with, and we eventually drifted apart. As I drifted apart with him, I guess me and Rooster drifted closer together as now he's one of my best friends. And so, interesting how that works out. So, anyways, okay, so obviously those are the bad times. Good times. I guess one of the worst ones was probably that graduation party of my friends. So it was just like, oh, I see how you actually feel. Okay, goodbye. We never really talked in person since that party, and we never really talked that day in the party because he was busy running around managing my drunk classmates. So, anyways, right. So good times. 2016, the summer of 2016, despite some of its downfalls, yes, despite some of its pitfalls, it was pretty great. I wouldn't say the whole summer was pretty great. But there was a part that was really great. So there is a town, actually, Buck lives there, and which has a festival of some sorts every June, celebrating I don't know what, just the town, I guess. And so I've always gone on to it. Like Friday night they have fireworks, and Saturday night I don't remember. But anyways, they also have garage sales. Oh, it's the fireworks are definitely Saturday night. The water bottle correct me in the comments because he was there with me that day, as was Davis and Fro. Yeah. Actually, was Davis with us that day? Yes, he was. He was. He was riding shot. Okay, so that first day, I don't know if Davis was with us. Yes, Davis was with us that first day. So Davis and the Fro were with us that day, and started off the day with I went and picked up the water bottle. His mom dropped him off, and we went garage sailing. Upon which we found, this is back when I drove a Ranger, a little white Ranger, and then I rolled it in 2018. And now I drive a Ford Explorer Sport Trek. Anyways, so I had quite a bit more bedroom than I have now. Actually had a bed. I don't really have a bed anymore. I also don't have a room anymore where I sleep. It's not. God. If you guys want me to do a setup tour, get us to 1,000 subscribers and I'll show you what my computer setup is. I don't think I've actually shown it off yet. It's not jank. I would say Buck's is more jank than mine, but my room is more jank than his. I will say that much. Anyways, so we go garage. The water bottle and I go garage sailing before Davis and Fro show up, and so we're garage sailing, and we come across this garage sale near my grandma's house. My grandma also lives in the same town. It's a small town, okay, small world, and we come across these guys selling a couch, and I looked at it, and I thought it said 500. No, sorry. It said $5. Okay, that was the price. And I was just like, $5. I expected more from a couch, not $5. And I was like, $5? And the guy's like, what, is that too high? I could come down. How about $4? And I was like, $4? I looked over at the water bottle because I didn't have any money at that moment. I didn't have enough money to, like, I needed to buy dinner with the money I had. So I was like, looked over at the water bottle, I'm like, oh my god. And he's like, I'll split it with you. So I gave him $2, and he put $2, and we bought this couch for $4. And so we put the couch in the back of my truck. I don't know if I've told this on the podcast. I don't know if I've told the whole story. Anyways, put the me and the guy that sold it, because the water bottle is this, he's scrawny. He can pick it up. He still can't pick it up. Anyways, me and this guy, we throw it in the back of my truck, and we drive around. And eventually, Davis and Fro join us, and we're driving around town. And we've got Fro in the back, and so Fro decided he was going to ride in the back, ride in the bed on the couch. I was like, okay, whatever. Do you. And then Davis rode shotgun, and then Water Bottle rode in the back seat, which in the Ranger there wasn't much of a back seat. He sat sideways in there, which is why the Fro had to sit on the couch. The Fro's like passed out on the couch, and so I'm like, we're screwing around, and I decide, okay, you know what? I know of this hill. There's this hill in this town that is super steep, and I think Buck, if he ever watches this, he'll know what hill I'm talking about. It's mostly it's gravel, and it leads to a gravel road, and it's steep and rough. And the Fro was irritating me, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna put this thing in neutral. I'm gonna go down this hill. And so we get to the top of this hill, and I pop it in neutral, my truck. And we rock it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and then it finally starts to roll. And I don't know how fast we got going, but it was not a safe speed to be going down this hill with a guy in the back on a couch that I couldn't close the tailgate, so that couch just kind of just sitting there under its own inertia. So. And it wasn't strapped in. It was just sitting there under it and Fro's inertia. And so Fro was sitting on the back of this couch as we're like going down this hill. Oh my god. And then I remember we were driving down the gravel road, and he was just I looked over at Davis, and I talked to the water ball in the back seat, and I'm like, let's pull a prank on him. So I slam on the brakes. I'm driving down this gravel road. I slam on the brakes. I hop out. I have a knife that day for whatever reason. I pull a knife on him, and I'm like, get off, swearing at him. And we were gonna ditch him. We do ditch him later, because we actually go to my old elementary school, and they installed a new basketball court. So of course, they were all big basketball players. I'm not a sports person, but they all like basketball. And so we set the couch up, take it out of the back of the truck, and put it on the basketball court. And actually, for the longest time, the background of my phone was a picture of not us. I wasn't in the picture because I took the picture on this basketball court with them in the Fro was in the middle. He was drinking Mountain Dew. Or was Rondo, not Rondo, or was Davis in the middle? I don't remember. I stared at the thing for 4 years. I stared at it, and I still don't remember it. And then my phone, it got unlocked in my pocket. It was like a sweaty day this summer, and it changed the background. And so now that it's not gone. I have it saved on a flash drive at home, so I could always reinstall. I could always put it back on there, and I've been meaning to do it. I just really haven't gotten around to it. And so they were all sitting there. The water bottle was drinking. I don't know what the hell he was drinking. I do know what he's drinking. I'm not gonna mention what he's drinking. Anyways, the water bottle was sitting there drinking some 7-Up. And Davis, I know for a fact. Yes, okay. So Davis was in the middle holding a basketball, and the Fro was on the far left drinking a Mountain Dew. And obviously, I took this picture from quite a ways away, from like halfway across the school playground, because there's this big grass field out in front of the school. Well, anyways, so I took a picture. It was like, this is one of the best times of our lives. And so, since we were at the school, I think Fro forgot something, and so we dropped him off at school, and we were gonna ditch him. We didn't actually ditch him. We weren't that cruel. At least I wasn't that cruel, or maybe I was. I don't remember. But I did remember I gunned it just to peel out the tires, just to scare him. We didn't go anywhere. I just sure, and then like went like 10 feet and stopped. he was so fed up with us that day. Then we went. I think we watched the fireworks on the couch. Yes, we did. We took the couch out onto the baseball field, and then that night we didn't know what to do with this couch because I couldn't take it home. My dad would kill me if I took a couch home. Although in hindsight, I don't think he would have cared. And so I was like, okay, what the hell are we gonna do with this couch? And so we drove out to a dirt road and we dumped it. We just dumped it. We just threw it on the side of the road and left it. Well, then the next day, the water bottle and I were back in town, and it's like, hey, let's get this thing back up. I'm like, okay. So the water bottle brought this guy with him. I don't know where this guy was from. He said he was from Illinois. I don't believe that. I think the water bottle could tell me about the guy. He had the same name as the water bottle, so we'll call him Water Bottle 2. Just for kicks and giggles. So the Water Bottle 2 was with us. I had never met this guy before in my life. He's basically a stranger, and I'm giving him rides in my car. And so we loaded up, and well, we're driving down the dirt road, and I come around this corner, and so and we're going across a culvert over a creek, and it's a steep drop off. There's no guardrails. This backwoods country driving. There's no guardrails. So if you lose control and you can't stay on the road, you're going in the creek, or you're hitting a tree. And I'd lost control. Luckily, this is like my first time I've actually ever lost control, and they thought they were screwing around with me. Was Davis with us that day? No, Davis wasn't with us. I know the Fro wasn't. Maybe Davis was. Anyways, no, I think Davis was at that point. I know Davis eventually leaves us because he had work or whatever, but I think he was with us that day. And Davis proceeds. So oh my god, I forgot one of the stupid stories from the Saturday, but I'll get back to that. Anyways, so I lose control, and I'm swerving back and forth. Not a cushion was lost off the couch. May I point it out? Not a cushion was lost. And I was going like... Was I going? I don't remember how fast I was going that day. Might have been only 50. I don't remember. It was such a long time ago. I used to know what speed I was going at. I don't remember anymore. But anyways, that's what happens when you get a concussion. You don't remember all the little details. I'm sure the water bottle barely remembers this day anymore. So we lose control, and Davis is like, dude, if Fro had been back there, he would have died. I'm like, probably. I'm laughing about it. I was laughing about it then. It's not something to laugh about. Because here's this guy that was with us, the Water Bottle 2. He had never met me before, and I already almost killed him. Oh my god, this guy's probably like, who is this guy, and why is he driving me around? Like, oh my god. I couldn't imagine being that guy in that moment. Like, oh my god, like, when it lost control, like, I think Davis, like, thought at first, like, no, the Davis wasn't with us, it was the water bottle. The water bottle was with us, because I remember, we lost control because there were these trees that were hanging over onto the road, and the water bottle's like, hey, let's touch the trees, because, this is like the second or third time we'd been back on this road. I was like, okay, whatever. Because again, we were just cruising around. And so I'm like, okay, yeah. So I get over to the side of the road, and he touches the tree, and he's like, let's touch the next tree. And I lose control to touch the second tree. And so, like, he's almost hanging halfway out the window to touch the tree. And I'm fishtailing. Oh my god. I fishtailed like 3 or 4 times before I finally get it to come to a stop. And so yeah, Davis wasn't with us. But the water bottle was just, he just looked over at me. He was like, I thought you were joking at first, and then I realized after you got dead silent that you weren't joking, you actually lost control. And so the water bottle 2 in the back seat is just like petrified. He's like, what just happened? Oh my god. That whole experience. Just, if Fro had been in the back, he would have died. He would have actually have died. Oh my god. So now, anytime anybody rides with me, even Will and Phil and Kyle, even they, I've told them the story. I've told them the story, so even they know about, why anytime there's a tree overlaying on the road, we do not, even though it would be fun to go and touch it, we don't touch the tree. Actually, I got a lot of little things when we're driving about little inside jokes. But we'll stick to this one real quick. We'll get to that soon. Anyways, so last story about this weekend. Two more stories about this weekend. First one is we were. What did we do? So we were driving. So the baseball field, the games were starting to start, and that's where they host the fireworks for that night. And so the traffic, was starting to pick up that around that time Saturday night, Saturday evening, I should say, for the baseball game and for the fireworks. And there's this girl. From what I remember, she wasn't too particularly attractive, but she had a butt. We'll say that much. And Davis, who's sitting in the right seat, yells, "Yo, Fro, smack that booty cheeks." It's not what he said, but donkey. But that's demeaning to her. I'll slap those booty cheeks. We're driving past this poor girl. I put my head down. I'm driving, and I put my head down between my arms in the steering wheel. I can't look. I'm not watching the road at this point, which is super dangerous, and you shouldn't do it. But I was so embarrassed because I was like, why? Why would you do this? Why? And Davis, I don't think he ever, not Davis, Fro, I don't think he heard him. I don't think he woke. Actually, maybe he did, but it was like too late at that point, and we're just laughing. And I remember, I think I sped up. I'm like, okay, we're getting out of here because I'm not sticking around to get to see any of these repercussions. And so we get out of there. And so okay. So fast forward to Sunday. Again, I have this couch. I don't know what to do with it. It's the end of the day. The water bottles went to town, to town, not the small town we were in, to the big town near us that I live in now, and they left, and so I'm stuck here with this couch in the back of my truck, and I run into my friend who's no longer my friend anymore. Him and his girlfriend, now ex-girlfriend, complicated situation with this guy, and we'll call her his high school girlfriend. And he's like, I know what to do with this couch. So we loaded it up in the back of his truck. And we drove to his place. And actually, I'd never lost a couch that entire weekend, not a single cushion. And he managed to lose it on the way home. Because I don't even know how. We weren't even driving that crazy down the gravelies. I don't remember we were. And I was ahead of him. And I certainly did not drive crazy down well, at the time, I might not have. I know eventually I end up driving crazy down gravel, which is how I end up wrecking my Ranger. But I don't think I was driving too crazy that day, and I managed to beat him to his house. And he's just like, yeah. So he put it in his room. Now, I have no idea if that couch is still in his room or if he got rid of it. I'm going to have to, if I run into him, I'm going to have to ask him. If I ever run into him again, I'm going to have to ask him if he still has the couch. The couch has been like stained and it's nasty now because his dog laid on it. Years of dog grease sitting on a couch. It's not good for it. So it's not. I don't want it back to like use it for my own purposes, but to just get it back and maybe give it a proper send off, or I don't know, put it in a man cave somewhere that's like in a garage, it would be more appropriate, or get like the cushions steamed and cleaned. That'd be kind of cool. Restore it to an extent. I don't know, that'd be interesting. So yeah, so that weekend is I would consider the best weekend of my life, up to this point. So I was gonna tell a story. Well, and now I can't remember it. That's unfortunate. It was really good. Shoot. Wish I could. Oh, right. So one of the other inside jokes when we're driving is or when we're using a little coupe car, or anytime we're talking about going over a terrain that isn't too. Oh, I was like, why is that cotton not being harvested? We're full. Silly me. That's what happens. And so my cousins and I don't know, I think it was like at our grandpa's birthday, and he would come over to their house for his birthday. Or maybe it was my grandma's birthday. This is on my mom's side. And we're in the basement, and we're screwing around. I don't know, we're just screwing around. And we start this chant. And the chant goes, we go over any terrain, we go over any terrain, we go over any terrain. So now, anytime we're doing anything like rough, or just something that is not too keen to where you should be driving, particularly, we go over any terrain. And Will is in on the joke now too. Will is like having a third cousin, because other than Will, we're all pretty close in age. Will's like what, 4 or 5 years younger than Kyle, so he's not too much younger. He's young enough to the point where he does know like a few different things. He's not as well as equipped in certain aspects as say like the rest of us are. And so there's that. But anyways, so we go over any terrain is an inside joke. It's an inside joke. We use it all the time. And we don't use it as much. We kind of forgot about it. But we go over any terrain. We go over any terrain. We go over any terrain. So leave a comment if you've made it this far in the video. Leave a comment. We go over any terrain. It's an inside joke. But we had a coupe car, and they were like trying to stop Phil and I with some barriers and stuff. It was Kyle and our little cousin, and they were trying to stop us. And so Phil and I were just like, I think Phil started. He's like, we go over any terrain. Oh my god, it just reminds me of the Phineas and Ferb episode where they make an alternate vehicle and they take it to the moon or whatever. It's crazy. It was just kind of ridiculous. It was literally just a vehicle with tank treads. The crazy invention was not the focus of that episode, I will tell you that much. Anyways, yeah, also, let me know, do you and your cousins or siblings have inside jokes like that? Or anything of the sorts? Let me know, and feel free to share. I'd really like to know. I think that's one of the things, like with friends and with family, you can make inside jokes, especially if you're close to them or whatever. And I think that's something really nice. You don't get that everywhere. So, yeah. We are coming up on 30 minutes here, so I mean, obviously we're gonna go to 40 just because. So what to talk about for the last 10 minutes? So okay, first of all, I should probably figure out what I'm gonna title this. Inside jokes. I don't know what else to do, so let me know if there's any Dr. Sheep inside jokes. I can't think of any. So anyways, I don't think I gave a life update. So you're watching this Hey, this is Thanksgiving, actually. You're watching this on Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. You can watch this while you're at lunch. I don't expect this video to actually do well. Then I think about that. Shoot, this is gonna go up on Thanksgiving. And actually, tonight, that you're watching this, not for me. This is over a week away. I'm going to upload a live stream of, I think the Water Bell and I are gonna play Skyblock. That was the plan. So we'll see if it still goes to fruition. I hope it does. So, actually, for that week, I'm gonna have to record. Thanksgiving. So now I have to go to my dad's for Thanksgiving. When am I gonna do the Minecraft Let's Play? I guess it all depends when the water bottle wants to get on. So, and I don't think I want to do the Let's Play until like kind of late. So, I don't want to go too late. I mean, I could do it afterwards. Not like I have too much to do afterwards. Or maybe I can just do the Minecraft episode before that. Like, that Wednesday I have nothing going on. I'll have work, but I could make the Minecraft either after work or before that. Probably before that, because I'll have to go to Dad's in the morning. Go for Thanksgiving. My grandma canceled Thanksgiving, as did my mom's side. My dad's side canceled it. She finally canceled it. And actually, Saturday morning, I'm going to pick up her leaves for her. Otherwise, I shouldn't expose her to Corona, at least not for a while. So, not that I have Corona. I mean, Rhonda went and got it tested just because he wanted to know if he had it before he went back home, and he was negative. So, if we didn't get infected in the last week or something crazy, in the past few days since he got that test, I think we'll be fine. So, that's good to know. This sounds bad, but my grandma's been kind of like my COVID tester. Because, like, if she gets sick, obviously I knew I had it, or something. Because, like, I think it works in the way that someone young like me, especially if my immune system is relatively strong, mine is relatively strong. I don't usually get sick. I got sick this time last year, right after Thanksgiving. Had a stomach bug for 4 days. I lost 10 pounds in 2 days. It was freaking crazy. I was just liquid was coming out of me towards the end. It's nasty, but yeah, that was my life. It was awful. That is the only time I've ever missed a class, was that Monday. I had to go back to class. And I was still sick. And I made 5 minutes through my macroeconomics lecture, and I got sick. I didn't get sick, but my stomach just hurt so bad. So I got up, I went to the restroom, but I couldn't. It was just gas, and so I was like getting scared. I'm like, what is going on? Like, why am I still in pain? This is like day 3, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. No, this is day 4. This is, from what I knew, this could still be another like 5 days worth of experience. I have, as far as I knew at the time, I had no idea how much longer this was going to continue to last. And so I'm like, okay, this has been going on for, this is now started day 4. I can't stand this anymore. And so I called the health center, like, yeah, get here just get here, like, whatever, I don't remember what time it was they told me to be there. But that was basically, to be there, which was basically by the time this class was over. And so I went to the classroom, packed up my stuff, and went to the health center. And I sent an email after that to my, I went to the health center. They told me, you're just having a stomach bug, you're completely empty, which is why you weren't able to use the restroom. It's just gas in there. She's like, take it easy, no, like, cheeseburgers and pizza and that kind of stuff. Take it easy, like, some, light foods, you'll get better. If you don't, well, call us back. If you want to get some, Pepto-Bismol, go ahead, get some from the pharmacy downstairs, which was way overpriced. I should just went to Walmart, got the pills, but whatever. Yep, I grabbed the Pepto, and then went home. And then once home, I sat on the couch, and she was like, "You're excused from class for the rest of the week. You don't have to go to class. I went to class that day. I went to class that afternoon. Cause she was like, maybe you just need to go home and like expel the gas in a place you feel comfortable instead of in class. Cause she was just telling me you just gotta expel this gas and I think you'll be good. And I of course was like, yeah, I'm not missing class again. And I started to feel better at this point, anyways, because I was finally empty, which means my body like finally got rid of most of whatever was causing this, the infection or whatever. It kind of meant like, hey, you're getting better. So, once you were basically empty like that, and so I went to class, passed gas. Luckily, that we're kind of crammed in like sardines, so I could just blame it on other people. Oh boy. But that was the only time I've ever missed a class. Cause then but the next day I wasn't better, but I wasn't great. And actually, I remember. I think I had lunch with my gay Malaysian friend. I've talked about him before. I don't have any. I don't have a name for him on this channel. I don't talk about him a lot. But when I had lunch with him the next day, I remember I ate something like super just bland, and I didn't eat a lot. I still for that whole week I kind of just slowly eased back into what my normal diet was. I didn't feel right until like 2 weeks. I'll take like a week later. I wasn't sick because for 4 days I was just in pain, and the worst part was I had to go to work Friday. I had to go to work. And those are the only 2 times I've ever called in sick for work, except for when I had to get tested for corona because I had a fever from God knows what. I didn't even know I had a fever. I went to the health center because I was having headaches, and I could not stand them anymore. And so I had to I had to figure out what was going on with them, and they suspected it was my high blood pressure. Which I think it was, because I started taking blood pressure pills, and that basically fixed it. So, and my roommate and Tex ridicules me. He's like, "You don't need those pills. You just work out and fix it." I'm like, sure. It's because it's also hereditary, so it's I'm stuck with it. So, anyways, so yeah, I had to go to work that Friday. It was Black Friday. This is back before Corona, and so I had to go to work, and I show up to work. I'm in pain. I remember walking along with this guy, and we were gonna do the 5 o'clock, which is when we do overstock. So the computer tells us, hey, there's this stuff in overstock thing we put on the shelf. Pull it out of overstock, put it on the shelf. I'm working on it. He's a forklift operator, and I'm telling him here's the pallet I need down. Here's how I want you to do it. Blah blah. And he's like, all right. And then he's like, we're walking together, talking, and I just stop and bend over. And he's like, you out of breath? You out of shape or what? And I was like, no, I have some sort of stomach bug. I'm actually sick today. I'm currently in excruciating pain. This was day 1. I couldn't call in sick. It was Black Friday. You literally get written up if you call in sick. You have to go. Luckily this year with Corona and just the way it's scheduled, you don't have to be a Black Friday this year. But obviously you don't want to do that. So the Saturday I go in for work, I still don't feel good. And we had this old assistant manager at the time. He was the old GM at the South store. South store, I mean, there's two of the stores that I work at in town, and the other one's in the southern part of the town. The other one's in the northern part of town. Okay, simple as that. And he was the old GM there, and he got demoted because he just was not doing a great job at managing the place. And they put him as an assistant manager in my department because my normal manager just excuse me. My manager quit, and the assistant manager, she transferred to electrical, and so he became our assistant manager for the one I have now, who's much better than him, much nicer. Anyways, this guy was a jerk, and I'm complaining about how much pain I'm in. And I just need him to tell me, like, you can go home if you want. I'm not going to stop you. And he yelled at me. I was there for like maybe an hour, maybe two. Just in excruciating pain. And he's like, fine, if you're going to keep complaining about it, just go home. And I finally went home. And I was like, thanks. You could be a little nicer about it. Whatever. Screw that guy. I didn't like him. And I went home. Went home and I died. And I stayed home for the next 2 days. Until class. I called in for sick for Sunday. Tell them I am still sick. Yeah. I have never... that's the only time I've ever called in sick other than Corona. Oh, and I guess the time I had a concussion from rolling my truck, but that wasn't really sick. The manager at the time, he believed me. He believed that I was sick because he's like, Doc doesn't get sick. That's not who he is. And that's the truth. I don't get sick. And I don't fake getting sick either. I've suggested it, but I've had the idea, but I've never done it. But actually, apparently, the assistant manager thought I was faking it. I was like, did you want me to take a picture of the toilet after I destroyed it? Is that what you want? Because I will prove it to you that I was sick. Well, anyways, we are coming up on 41 minutes. Actually, we're coming up on 42 minutes here soon. I think that's it for this episode. We are just grinding away at more cotton. Nothing special. I don't know what I'm going to do for a thumbnail. Oh, God. Please stop. And actually, I was just thinking, Moose bought the same weeders I have. The same weeder that I have for his Let's Play. And I was like, oh man, I thought, and then I was like, oh, it's the biggest weeder in the game. I was like, Jesus, that's not very good to scale up. That means you just basically, once you scale up, you have to switch to herbicide. No, you don't. I forgot. I have a much bigger weeder that I got in a DLC, so we will use that in the future. It's like almost twice the size of what I have now. So these are like 12. It's 21. So 21.5-ish, something like that. It's very, very large implement. It's like double the horsepower, so it's like, yeah, we won't be able to use it for a long time. It's only like $10,000 more. That's just crazy. The DLC stuff, some of it's like, oh, it's kind of useless to add. Like kind of like the Alpine DLC was kind of like, most of it was kind of useless, other than the return of the... Sorry, my brain is melting currently. The loading wagon that was in 17, and they brought it back in 19 as a DLC. Other than that, and the new map, it was kind of useless. And that's actually, the Moose replied to a comment I left on his channel saying, yeah, he literally bought it just for the map. I bought it because I just wanted all the DLCs, and I just, I'm a collector in that sense. So. Okay, let's finish this one strip before I go. It is 1:17 in real life. Oh, God, it is late. I knew it was going to be 2 o'clock before I make it to bed, and I was right. I still got to floss and brush my teeth. What is it, the 18th? Oh, God. Ooh. Oof. I was gonna burp there for a second. Okay, I'm getting weird. I'm tired and I'm running out of conversation to talk about. But can you guys burp on command? Is that just me? Excuse me. I'm sorry. That's disgusting. But I can burp on command. I discovered this. Me and my friend, the one who's no longer my friend. Like I said, I got a lot of story. Like I said, we were good friends in elementary school and middle school. We just grew apart in high school. We were good friends for a long time. We rode the bus together for a while, and we were good friends. This is a shame. But anyways, we discovered it one day while sitting in the bus. And I don't remember, but I burped I don't know how many times in a row. But yeah, I can burp on command. Can you guys? That's like a, I guess, little secret little hidden talent I have. I guess I don't know. That's not really much of a talent, but something I can do that I know other people cannot. Leave a comment. Anyways, I told you guys to leave a lot of comments. So remember, if you made it this far, we go over any terrain. Please, 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 please comment, like, comment, share, and subscribe. New Let's Plays every Tuesday, Thursday, 11 a.m. Central Time, and good night. What an episode, ladies and gentlemen. If you enjoyed what you watched and you want to see what the series started, go check out the playlist. If you want to see more, and so you don't miss a single second, make sure you subscribe. Anyways, stick around for the next 20 seconds to give me a sweet watch time, and I'll see you guys in the next one.